So just like with the LG V40 video, I'm putting this at the very beginning since it's a relatively long video. And as you can tell, my G5 is now in full working order again. Though since both the display and the back housing are third party, they don't exactly match up right, as you can tell right there. So Dust has an easy way to get into this phone. But luckily there are some gaskets that are both on the front and back cameras, so hopefully they'll remain dust free. What I'll just eventually do is I'll get a better casing and actually have it, and hopefully the casing I'll get will actually somewhat cover up this little area right here and hopefully reduce the dust input and whatnot. Another thing is the little chin piece here. For some reason, towards the end of the video, you'll see the phone say, "This chin piece doesn't work with your Verizon phone," even though it's the exact same chin piece. The only difference is the backing right there. This phone's not exactly the smartest thing in the world, and LG kind of went stupid for making multiple chin pieces for different variants of this phone, but at least as of right now, the new screen and the back housing are in full working order. Even though there is some imperfections, but then again, this is to be expected from third parties. But again, I'm pretty content, especially considering this is supposed to be my backup phone and not my main phone. And of course, this is the current backing up. This is the current case I'm using. It's pretty cheap and flimsy. I need to get the exact same case that my V40 uses, but I don't have it with me right now because it's out in the living room and I forgot to get it before I record this video. But yeah, there's like two, maybe three more things I need to do. Get a new backing for this, or to get a new case for the phone. Get another chin replacement so I can actually have proper clasping with the battery. And also a new battery, because the battery in this one is currently pretty much dead. I can get a few hours out of it, but that's about it. But, I mean, at least I fixed my stupid fee. At least I fixed this phone now. So a little while ago, I uploaded a video of me basically repairing my LG V40, replacing the back and the battery. As you can tell, it's doing just fine, and the battery life is fantastic again. Now I'm going to do the same thing to another LG phone, my LG G5 right here. As you can tell, I got a new backing for it. Now, since this is a third-party backing, there's quite a few things wrong with it, so I gotta go in there and do some extra repairs to this backing before I actually do the swap. So I just lost something already. First thing, and of course, one of the things I need to do is I need to actually attach the volume rocker right here to the shell. I might actually, and whatnot, and I also need to go and actually attach this properly, because when I press the power button, it pops loose like this. It's not supposed to do that. And when I lift the actual thing off, it's just held together by sticky tape. And of course, I also got this little section right here that kind of lifts off, as you can tell. And I got a little laser blaster LED thing. This thing uses a laser to autofocus, and the actual lenses is pretty scratched. So I'm going to use the lens from my G5 right here, and just use that instead of this one. And I'll just use this one. I'll just keep this one here as a spare. And sorry about the angle and whatnot. The camera is actually, I'm sitting here, but the camera is off to my right at an angle, so I'm trying to figure out how exactly I need to position everything. So this video is going to be relatively long also, but as you saw at the very beginning of this video, it will be me just going over did it actually work or not. Because I know this is going to be about like an hour long, so I just want to have the actual did it work, yes or no, at the very beginning. That way, so if you want to watch me fail, you can watch me fail, or if you want to watch me actually succeed, you can do that also. So first thing I gotta do is I gotta shut down shut down the phone. One of the other things I will need to eventually get for this phone is a new bottom chin right here. The locking mechanism that actually locks this to the back is busted. I got a new backing though, because the backing is fairly damaged, as you can tell. So I'm definitely gonna have an odd looking phone for a little while, but I do plan on eventually getting a new chin piece to fix the locking issue. So what I need to do now is I need to remove the sticky tape that I'm using to hold the chin down, and go on from there. Now this isn't a tutorial of how to take this phone apart, but it's more just me trying to have something up on my YouTube channel. Now I just gotta remember how I freaking put this tape on so I can pull it off in one good go. Yeah. And just like with the V40 video, I'm a one-man camera crew, and I am not Louis Rossman or Hugh Jeffries or whatever you call those two people. So do not expect professionalism from my video. Now here's the actual chin piece. Let me see. This little metal piece right here is busted. There's actually supposed to be a piece of plastic covering it that allows this metal piece to actually hinge on this little spring right here. But since I busted that, God, this camera stinks. But since I busted it, I have to basically super glue it and hope that it just stays there via friction. And the reason why the battery didn't pop out with the chin strap here is because I also broke one of the little latches here. And this is a third-party battery which needs to be replaced also. This battery lasted about 3 months before it just gave up the ghost. I mean, I can still get a decent amount of battery life out of this thing, but it's not enough to really warrant day-to-day use. And plus, the main reason why I'm doing this to my V40 is so I can have a nice backup phone. Because this phone may be old, but it's still a good phone but it's still a decent phone. So naturally, there'll be 2 screws here and here, but I already removed them because I popped the back panel back panel off already on this thing once. And the one thing I forgot to do was remove the SIM card tray. Let me get something to do that. Like I said, don't expect professional video by any stretch of the imagination. This is just me seeing if I can do a second repair on a second device. Alright, now I just gotta remember how I pop the screen off. I'm gonna pause and try and figure out something. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go off track for a second. I want to talk about the Amazon seller I got this from. I don't know if I'm gonna link the thing in the description because I don't know what it's gonna go yet. Especially considering the back cover here is kind of wonky and I have to go in there and actually repair it myself. But I do want to say that at the very least they gave me a decent little spudger. And the major thing I'm very impressed with is this little baggie right here. What's Dank Pods call it? Egg bag or something? Goodbye, egg bag. They give me a nice little screwdriver set. A legit nice screwdriver set. With all sorts of little tips. And a decent little screwdriver. This is the one major thing I'm very impressed with. To be fair, I think this is probably the $20 I spent for the actual product. And this is probably like, this is the 5 extra bucks. The 20 went to the screwdriver set. That's how I see it. This screwdriver set is going to be a godsend when I go to repair other stuff down the road. So now I'm going to try and remove the screen again. I know I should have just kept the screen off when I was doing this initially prior to recording the video. Yeah, but whatever. Now, of course, I've done this quite a few times, so the screen actually pops off really easily. So one of the nice things about the G5 is that mostly everything is just on the screen itself. And if I need to replace the screen, I just simply unlatch all these little latches and pop the motherboard off. And maybe remove a few screws, I don't know. One thing to note about my particular G5 is that there used to be a little pin right here. It broke off. I have no idea what it does, but my phone seems to work without it anyways, so I just completely ignore it. So there's the screen and everything else. And here's the back panel of an actual official G5 compared to the back panel that I came with. It's actually a pretty good recreation of the back panel. It's not 100% accurate because again this is a third party, but it's fairly close. So there's a few things I need to do. One is I need to remove this headphone jack since this one I don't trust. I basically am going to salvage my headphone jack here. I'm going to salvage a headphone jack, and I'm going to salvage this little piece right here. So to do that, I just need to pry up. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Alright, there's the headphone jack. Now I gotta pry the little laser piece out. So to do that, I need to lift off on this little piece of plastic here. And go like that. And since this piece of plastic is still basically good to go, I think. Or maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna transfer this piece over. Just make life easier on me, so let's see. Remove the old headphone jack. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do prior to removal? No, that's just the antenna cable. Good headphone jack. Oh, that seat's in a lot more nicer. There we go, that seat's real nice. Also, another reason why I decided to just transfer this over is because currently, since the locking mechanism for the chin piece right here is busted, I had to go and remove these little springs right here. Because if I leave these springs in, they'll be constantly pushing pressure onto the battery and constantly wanting to get the jet out of the phone. And I really don't need that to happen. So most likely when I'm done with everything, I will be just using glue again to hold everything together. But I think I'll be good to go. I should test to make sure the chin actually seats in place. Oh, that locked. Ooh. That actually does seem to lock relatively nicely. And it actually doesn't look half bad. And it seems to lock relatively fine. So I'll just use it like this for now and see how it works. Okay, so next thing I gotta do is I gotta put the good headphone jack into place. Place that down. Is there a locking mechanism for the... Now there's one thing I need to figure out is how the volume rocker here is set. So this is the original back housing. I pop this off and I take a look at both housings, and both housings look exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is, since I know the volume rocker is still good, I'm just going to pry it off and use it. I may have broke the volume rocker belt, but we'll see. At least this volume rocker actually seats into the chassis. The other one is just kind of loose. So the last thing I need to do is I need to attach this little piece right here. So to do that, I need my super glue. Yeah, you can see it. Alright, do that. And slide that into place. And hold it for a little while. Alright, since I got everything in working order now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to clean these contacts, or mostly just a few of these, and come back. The reason why I'm just going to do that off camera so I don't bore you half to death than you already are. Alright, last thing to do is just do a little can of blown air. Make sure the lenses are dust free as possible. Huh. Looking at it, I kind of should have gone for the gunmetal. It actually looks really nice compared to the silver that I had initially. So I'm going to clean this off and come back. Alright, now to put the battery in and see what happens. Alright, so I have audio. And does the flashlight still work? Yes, flashlight still works. What about the camera? Later. Everything seems to be in working order. Now there is one thing to note. As you can see, the screen's not 100% flat. This is to be expected from a third-party backing, But generally speaking, this seems to be a fairly okay backing. It's annoying I had to go in there and basically super glue a few pieces down and just swap over a few pieces, but it's nothing that I couldn't do. Again, it's more of just a nuisance factor than anything else. So it's most definitely a third party. Replacement screen, because it's definitely not all lining up as it should. But overall, for a third party, that's like $25 on Amazon. At least right now, it's not too atrociously bad. So I guess that pretty much concludes this video for now. I am going to try and make it sit more properly off camera, but I doubt that'll be the case due to this thing again being a third party. But generally speaking, everything seems to be in working order, and the actual chin right here is actually holding down firm, which is nice. Now, of course, I am still going to get a new one because it is still not 100% flat, as you can tell. But at least right now I don't have to worry about it just popping off randomly anymore. So at least I got my G5 semi-fixed now, I think. Or at least gotten to a point where if I need it as a backup phone, I could actually reliably use it as a backup phone. Well, it was working. Now the screen's dead. And the touch is dead also. So yeah, this is definitely a third party that can absolutely deal damage to the screen if you're not careful. Well, that sucks. Well, I managed to pop the screen off, so at least whenever I get some money I can replace it. Kind of annoying I have to do that now. So yeah, the screen's totally shot. Oh, I guess I can chalk this up as a fail. Well, I guess I can chalk this up to a failure, since again I broke the screen. Luckily I do know the casing would work, so all I need to do now is just get a new main LCD panel. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but it's about like $26 to $30 to get a new screen for this thing. So what I did right now is I basically pulled out the motherboard, that way so the motherboard's in its own little safe area and whatnot. And I'm just going to store this phone in a safe spot until I get a new screen for it. The screen I'm looking at, I'll also have to still transfer some more parts from the old screen here to the new one. But I'll work on that when I actually get the new screen. So I guess I can call this part 1, and hopefully part 2 will come out later this week. I don't know. Alright, quick update. My father ordered the replacement screen, and it's supposed to come here Wednesday. I'm currently recording this on Monday. So hopefully the first part of this video will be the fail, and the next part will be me completely getting this thing back up in full working order again. I still hate myself for destroying a perfectly OEM screen, but what you gonna do? Well, the replacement screen's in, so let's see if this all works now. Obviously I've yet to open this thing because I want to make sure I get it all on video. If I have to return this stupid screen, which hopefully I don't have to. Good grief. Why do they have to freaking pack it all with freaking tape? Hey, another tool set. At least they packed it in foam. Alright, there's the screen itself and some extra foam. Alright, there's the screen itself. Now there are a few things I will have to transfer over. It kind of looks like an original screen though. So, yeah. So next thing I gotta do is I gotta pop out the old screen again and get the stuff I need to transfer over. And again, since this screen is busted, I can just pop off like that and not gonna worry about anything, because all we need to worry about is just this here and the main motherboard. So let me pop over my old screen and take a look at what I need to transfer over. Okay, so there's a few things I need to transfer over. Let's see, how can I do this without... give me a second, I'm going to pause to see if I can get this set up in a way to where you can see what I transfer over. So I'm actually looking at a post on Amazon's page right here saying exactly what needs to be transferred over. So I'm going to use that to help me transfer the parts over from my old screen to my new one. And like I said, don't expect professionalism from my video. I'm not Louis Rossman, I'm not whatever, Hugh Jeffries or whatever. I'm not a, well, you know, granted I already have an idea of what I need to transfer over. I just need to make it a little more easier for me to see what I'm transferring over. So yeah, geez, that screw's not even down right. Wait, that's a screw to hold the, okay, these are screws that actually hold it's been a few days, so I forgot what is what, so give me a second to remove these screws. Again, I believe these screws are exactly the same, but I'm placing them in their proper orientation so when I go to put this thing back together, I don't destroy the new screen by accident. I now need to transfer over the speaker. I need to transfer... Okay, it looks like the little plastic bit that's holding the speaker down is still there. Is there anything I need to transfer over other than just the speaker? Sorry, I'm holding this up to my face to figure it out. Actually, I'm going to pause and come back. I need to figure this out. I'm not going to bore you. Alright, so the old post on Amazon is not 100% accurate. I just need to transfer over the speaker from the original display here. And there's one thing I want to note is that I believe this display is an actual original LG display. Because here's this one right here with the flat ribbon like this. This is the original. This is the new display, and this one right here is the old one. And the actual little titles that you can see right there at the on that little cream color piece, it looks exactly the same. So hopefully this came from the same factory, or this might be an original LG display that got pulled from a working phone. I don't know. So first thing I need to do is I need to remove the speaker. So let's see if I have that on video. Yes, I do. And let's see, how am I going to do this? I need a flathead. Do I have a flathead? Okay, so this speaker comes apart in two pieces. Here's the actual main driver itself, and then there's a little metal shield over it, which needs to be transferred over. Also, this whole little plastic piece is the speaker. Whoops. Well, I mean, I didn't damage the driver itself. The driver itself is still... sorry. The driver itself is still physically on the actual speaker piece. So, this little black piece here does need to be transferred over. It's just that this piece is just that good grief, sorry. The little thing on Amazon didn't actually specify it. Actually, no. Can't I just... No, I have to transfer it over. Or I got to somehow figure out how to pull off the... How do they do this? Oh, I see exactly how they did this. There we go. Alright. So there's a little grill mesh, which is this little piece right here. And then there's this little metal piece right here that's supposed to cover up the speaker, which I should go and put back on right now. And just like that, the speaker is now put back together. Now I just gotta figure out what I want to do with the grill. Do I want to use it? Do I want to reuse it, or do I just want to stick it back down? The reason why is because, well, it's kind of nasty, and I think for sanity's sake, I will reuse it. I'll just make sure it's cleaned off. Alright, so with that done, now I need to make sure I can get this all on video still. Figure out where this goes. And then just put everything back in its hole. After I remove the, give me a second. There's something I need to also mention when it comes to the front speaker here. No matter if I used a flathead like I did initially, or if I used a little spudger, that little metal shroud coming off would still happen because there was some adhesive on this little piece right here that was actually holding down the speaker. And since the little metal shroud was actually just basically friction fitted for the most part, or just a small little line of adhesive, it was still popped out anyways. So I need to explain now why it wouldn't matter if I used a flathead or a spudger. Also, I had to get some tweezers so I can actually remove some little pieces of plastic from the new screen here. So let me zoom out and come back. Alright, so there are some pieces of plastic I need to remove. Let's see. There's plastic here, or there's some... God, I can't do this video. There's some plastic here, plastic there. There's some little plastic bits here and there I gotta remove. Like I said, I'm not a professional YouTuber. Do not expect a professional video by any stretch of the imagination from me. This is just me wanting to have a video up on my YouTube channel. This is kind of something I like to do anyways. Also, speaking of which, there is also some adhesive right here I just pulled away. I pulled a little sticky from. So let me make sure I get everything to the way it needs to be on the new screen, and looks like everything's there. So all I gotta do now is just pop the old speaker into its hole. Put down that little grounding piece here. Make sure the speaker's properly mounted. Alright, looks like the speaker is properly mounted. Everything looks to be in working order. Alright, next thing I gotta do is I gotta put my motherboard onto the screen. Now, one of the things that stinks about this particular phone is that I can't actually test this screen until I get it all put back together. It's one of the downsides of this particular phone, but it does allow for easy replacement of the battery and relative ease of replacement of the screen. So let me make sure everything's flat where it needs to be. And you still can't see what I'm doing. Wow, that connection point for the way the speaker connects to the motherboard is actually is really interesting. There's just some little golden contacts at the edge of the motherboard right here that actually correspond with the tabs on the speaker. Again, I'm not a professional. I mean, I keep saying it, but I need stated again. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I wish I could do this professionally, but it'll make it a job and I don't put out quality content. It would be nice if I could, but I mean, I've been on YouTube now since what? I think 2009 or something like that when my channel was initially made. So, yeah. All I can hope for is that I somehow manage to get this stupid phone rebuilt. I have repaired a laptop before when it comes to screen replacement, but it was like what, a 15-inch display compared to this thing's little 7-inch or 6-inch. And also the form factor is completely different. And plus it is more for entertainment. There's some UK dude, I forget his name, that uploads videos constantly of him just buying stuff off of eBay and seeing if he can repair them. He has like what, over 100,000 subs now at this point, which is well deserved. So there are people out there that find this type of stuff interesting. With that said, my channel is not really meant to be around this particular part of stuff. It's just me wanting to have something on my channel because I am a bit of a nerd. So obviously, if I have a chance to record myself repairing something, I want to see if I can record it and then upload to YouTube in hopes that I get not hopes that I get anything. I just want to record my whatever it's called, me trying to repair something, I guess. Alright, so everything's back into the way it needs to be. Now here's the hard part. Putting this display into the back housing. This part here is the part that scares me the most because the screen, as of right now, as far as I know, is in full working order. But putting the screen into the housing could easily bust it. And that's the one thing I don't like about this particular phone design. But I've done this a few times already, so I shouldn't destroy it. At least it kind of has the screen has a different coating at least, so maybe it'll be a little more nicer to touch. So let me get some canned air, blow out the dust, and come back. Be right back. Alright, got the canned air. Alright, now the $64 question. Can I put this phone back together without cracking the screen? Again, this is the part I hate the most about this particular phone. It's not wanting to pop back together, so I gotta figure out how to put this together properly without busting it. It's not 100% flat. There's a nice little gap right here that's not supposed to be there. So I gotta now figure out how to pop this screen apart pop this phone apart again without damaging the new display. And that's the part that's scary. I have no idea how I'm going to pop this apart. I'm going to look at the teardown guide on this thing, be right back. Alright, I got to an extent where I pried this piece off right here, and the screen is not damaged. Luckily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a piece of plastic here from this little thing, and I'm going to use that as a pry tool and try and jimmy out the little connectors. Now this is slightly thicker plastic than the plastic I initially used on my V40 because I don't need to be as precise or as it doesn't need to be as thin. I just need to be able to get into here and actually delatch the clamps or delatch the clips holding the screen down. And I just popped another latch, so we're good to go. These clips do not want to declasp. For the life of me, I can't get these stupid claps to delatch. I mean, I could test it now to make sure it still works, but I'm gonna have to pop it apart still because it's not going because it doesn't because it's not closed correctly. But I might as well test to make sure it still works. I gotta find the battery and whatnot. Give me a second. Alright, I found the battery. Okay, let's see. Flash that into here. Put that there. So I'm gonna close this without completely damaging it. There we go. Hit the power button. Ah, it works. Now I just gotta remove the screen somehow. The screen ain't too bad though. For a replacement screen, I'm very impressed with it, with how good it looks. Granted, it's pretty dim. I'm pretty dim right now, but I need to go in there and bump the screen brightness up. This looks like an original LG display. If it's a third-party display, it's very well done. Again, though, the only problem is that I didn't put the screen on properly, so it's not 100% lining up like it should. And of course, if I don't line it up properly, it's going to dust will get inside here and whatnot. But generally speaking, this looks like a good display. I just need to get this display off. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try heating this phone up with my I'm gonna use my foot heater to heat this phone up and see if I get the clasps to lead, see if I get them to delatch that way by heating up the metal. It kind of worked. I think I got a little farther than I did last time. Ah, there we go. Got an hour pop. Ay, ay, ay. Freaking hell. I gotta make sure I didn't just break the screen. I know you can't really see it, but the display is still perfectly fine. Foot heater Kun, or however the weebs say it, came in and saved the day. Though I did get myself. My phone didn't leave me unscathed. Can you freaking autofocus? Yeah, the phone hates me. So I'm going to get a band-aid on me. It doesn't look to be too deep, but it's just enough to where it's going to be constantly annoying if I don't cover it up. Alright, so I think I know exactly what I did wrong the first time. Is that I decided to put it together through the sides when I actually shove it through the top first and then clip it down. So let me go and of course rerun the same crap so I don't get any dust on the camera lenses and cameras. I'm one of the very few people that really want to have good quality imaging from their phone. So obviously I want to try and make sure there's no dust in there. So, what I did wrong the first time is, again, I clipped from the sides instead of just going from the top and then clipping. Because I needed to clip from the top first. Unless it's not going to clip because this is a third-party screen, it's not 100% accurate. Let's see what's going on. It's not allowing me to properly clip. Something's wrong and I don't know what, but whenever I go to clip it down, something's forcing it to not clip. So I'm going to figure that out and come back. Alright, so when it comes to the display not sitting properly, I have to chalk it up to the fact that both the display and the back panel are both third party, so they're not going to sit right with each other. They're going to sit well just enough to make the phone actually look like the phone and function, but it's not going to be at the spec of what LG originally came out with. But luckily now I seem to have gotten everything up in working order. And the phone thinks I have a different module in it because it's too retarded. You stupid phone. Is it not working because this isn't clipped in? You're serious, right? Alright, so a lot of hassle done and I finally got myself a working phone again. Again, it kind of stinks that this is here, but what you gonna do? At least generally speaking, the phone still functions now. And I get Wi-Fi too, and let's see if the cameras are still working. Yep, cameras are working. Yep, got myself a full working phone again. LG and their stupidity sometimes though.